Good morning, everyone. It's Sal Post. How you doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're all doing well and everyone's keeping well. Everyone's having a fantastic day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. I hope you are doing absolutely brilliantly this morning. Now, before I start, please may I ask a quick favor? Please, could you kindly subscribe to the channel? And smash a like on the video. That helps a lot in regards to the algorithms of the videos, etc. But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been another quiet 24 hours in the world of Manchester United. Of course, nothing severely has happened in regards to transfers in, transfers out. Nothing is going on at the moment. It looks like a bit of a disaster. It looks like the wheels are falling off, whatever you want to call it. It's been a bit of a bad one, hasn't it, this last few weeks? We haven't had anything going on. We haven't had anything positive to talk about. Now, the only thing we can say is that we can hope. We've got 7 days to the start of the season. 7 days from today, the start of the season is against Fulham. We have to wait and see what's going to happen in this next 7 days, because everything can change. Of course it can change. It can change in 24 hours. But at the end of the day, it's not looking good, bruv, is it? It's not looking good at the end of the day. And we have to wonder, what are Ineos' plans? What are their plans? They're the experts at the end of the day. They're the ones with all the know-how. Good morning, Indasi. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. They're the ones with the know-how. They're the ones with all the knowledge and power that they have. Of course, that's why we employed them at Manchester United, so they can deal with situations such as this one. Now, one bit of breaking news is that Berge has had a rallying cry, screaming out, "I want to sign for Manchester United. Let me sign for Manchester United." Berge, of course, is a Norwegian international who plays for Burnley. No one has heard of him from a couple of weeks ago, of course. No one has heard much about him. Of course, we've heard about his name here and there, but we haven't really delved into who he is. Now, Berge, of course, is a Norway international. He's played at all levels of Norway. He scored 13 goals for Sheffield United from midfield in one season, which isn't bad, which is why he got his move to Burnley. Now, Burnley, he played for Burnley last season. He didn't do great, of course. Burnley didn't do fantastically well, hence the reason why they got relegated. And Berge, you didn't really hear much about him. Now, I'm not going to sit here and criticize these players, because at the end of the day, we don't know what they can bring to the team. And we know that obvious research has been done in regards to these players. We have to be really careful when we criticize players, because we don't really know how good they really are. Now, what I do know is that why are not Man City, why are Liverpool, and why are Chelsea not in for this type of player? Why are we in for this type of player? Why are they not in for this type of player? And that is a worrying sign when other teams and their scouts are not scouting this player. We are the only ones who have scouted this player. Now, it's something in the player that we see, that we admire. There's something about him that we might like. I'm not sure, but to me, does this seem like a desperate signing for Manchester United? Good morning, Felix. How you doing? Watching live from Kenya. Big up, Kenya family. What's going on? I hope you're all doing well there and everyone is enjoying life. But oh my God, it's early United news. Early. I am the earliest man in the world in regards to transfer news at Manchester United. 7 a.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Middle Eastern time. But when we talk about Berge, we look at other teams and we say, why are Man City, why are Chelsea, why are Liverpool not going after this player? What is about this player that we like so much? You know, and we really have to remember that, and we do have to put that into perspective. 2 a.m. here, US time. Whereabouts in the US you from, Cohen? Good to see you here, my friend. Hope you're well. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is a risk. It represents a risk. And is this a panic signing? Is this a panic buy? Do you think it's a panic buy? I mean, some people are calling it a panic buy at the moment. I'm not too sure. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? At the end of the day, it could be a masterstroke from Ineos and Erik ten Hag, or it could be an absolute disaster. Some people were saying he's the Weghorst of midfields. Can you believe it? Weghorst of midfields. God forbid. It would be an absolute disaster if he was at the end of the day. But we do need numbers in the midfield. We are weak in midfield. We do need legs, and he is the 10th fastest player in midfield last season in regards to speed. So at the end of the day, let's wait and see. I wouldn't criticize him too much. I wouldn't jump on the bandwagon and say he's rubbish, because at the end of the day, you never know what could happen with players. We've had players in the past who signed, who've been successful, who we didn't think would be successful. Do you know what I mean? So you're claiming Sander Berge is a panic buy because other clubs with top four. No, I'm not saying he's a panic buy. I'm saying others are claiming he is a panic buy. And I'm asking your opinion. Is he a panic buy for you? For me, we have to wait and see. And that's exactly it. We don't know if he's a panic buy. We don't know if we've researched him in and out. We don't know if we've been after him for weeks. We don't know, do we? Randy, 8 a.m. in South Africa. Good to see you, Randy. Hope you're doing well. Beautiful South Africa. Whereabouts South Africa are you from? Good to see you here, my friend. I don't think he's a panic buy yet. I mean, I wouldn't say that Sander Berge's a panic buy, because I'm not going to come here and say that I'm the sanderberg.com of knowledge. I'm not. At the end of the day, Sander Berge played in the Premier League last season, and I didn't hear a peep from him. I didn't hear any news about Sander Berge. I didn't hear any noise about how good he was, how bad he was. He was an anomaly at the end of the day. And Dassie, we should give other players a chance. We do need big name players anymore. Yeah, we do. And that is very true as well. And Dassie, that is very true. Sometimes these players, and this is what from the top of the show I've been saying, that we cannot judge a player if he's going to be crap, if he's going to be good or whatever. We have to wait and see. But one thing's for certain, when you get players that are not household names, for example, they're not famous and they're not these big names, they tend to give you more, don't they? They tend to give more for the shirt. He wants to sign for Manchester United, and that's enough for me. At the end of the day, if a player wants to sign for Man United and a player wants to give his all for the club, I like that about a player. That's good at the end of the day. But for 30 million, I think it's a bit too steep. If people are saying that McTominay is worth 20, 25, how can you say that Sander Berge is worth 30? This is what I'm saying. Guys, bath time. He's a half measure for me. Yeah, first thing, number 6 needs to be aerial duels. Yeah. And then ground duels. Yeah. And then space recovery. He's great at all of those. He's good at build up. Yeah, there you go. There you go. The knowledge. But let me have a look. But top players like Rodri, etc., contribute in the final third with Rodri scoring. Yeah, that is a good point as well. You won't get that inequality from Berge in attack. This is a good point at the end of the day, but do you need that? It depends what type of formation you're playing. Rodri he does play as a number 8 sometimes. He does go forward. He likes to go forward. Even for Spain, he likes to go forward. But you know, we need someone to shield that defence. Our defence has been weak, but we also do need goals as well. And we need contributions from midfield, which we haven't had a lot of. And this is a problem that Manchester United have been facing for a long time now. And at the end of the day, we do need contributions from midfield. We need contributions from the width as well. And we need contributions from our strikers. We need goals at the end of the day. And bath time, you're absolutely spot on. Your analysis is absolutely perfect. And I couldn't have put it better myself, my friend, at the end of the day. The thing is that Sander Berge is a model professional. He's a professional. He's good at his job, what he does. He cleans up. Maybe he's better for a Burnley type team. Do you know what I mean? But a team that has aspirations for progressing and challenging for titles, for example, is he that guy? Is he that guy? Can he be that guy going forward? I'm not too sure he can at the end of the day. We have to wait and see. 13 million for him is a bit steep in my humblest of opinion. I think that's a bit steep for him, in my opinion. Felix, let me have a read of this. Felix, look at somebody like Rodri from Man City. We didn't know about him, but he is the best holding midfielder in the world. So let's see, Sander. The one thing I would give about Rodri, he was very well known. He was very well known, my friend, for Atletico Madrid. He was brilliant. I mean, I wanted him at the time, but we never know. We cannot judge a player because at the end of the day, these players have not had a chance at a big club, isn't it? And this is what we have to say. You have to wait and see till he's given his chance. But one thing I would stress, he's 27 in February. 27. It's not old, I know, but he's not young either. So we have to remember that. And I hope upon hope that he does do the job and he does do really well for Manchester United. We really need someone in there who could be that enforcer, who could be there for the next couple of 3 years until we rebuild, of course. But Would I like a Sander Berge instead of nobody? Of course I would. Of course I would. We do need somebody in there. Of course, it's not worked out for Ugarte for whatever reason. Zubamendi could be off to Liverpool. That's bad news. João Felix is going to PSG. It's just a bit of a nightmare at the moment. Richard Rios and his price tag. Andre Neto's still out there in Brazil. We could go for him as well. Randy, if he comes, we must support him and the manager. Yep, exactly, Randy. And that's exactly what it's all about. It's all about supporting the manager, supporting the project. At the end of the day, if he comes, I'm not going to criticise the player. I'm going to back the player. What are we going to gain out of criticising the player if he signs for Man United? We're not going to gain anything. It's about supporting the player and being on his side, because he's on our side. So we're on his side as well. It's all about unity, and it's all about trying our best to support him, and I hope he really does well, and I hope he becomes a Manchester United mainstay in the team, and he's there for a number of years. Bath time. Let's just read back to this. Yes, you need that. The easiest thing to do in the world is sit back and pick up the ball up from the back four. The hardest thing is to create goals. Exactly. That is very true, Bath time, at the end of the day. But maybe just step by step, brick by brick, we have to wait and see. We have to be patient in regards to this type of player. At the end of the day, it looks like we ain't got the money to afford this type of player. Let's not forget Ugarte is this type of player as well. Ugarte doesn't score goals. He doesn't. Throughout his career, he hasn't scored goals. So what's the difference between a Sander Berge and Ugarte, you may scream, at the end of the day? It's just the difference in nationality. That's it. At the end of the day, they both don't score goals. They both don't go forward. Rodri is one of the best CDMs in the world, probably the best CDM in the world. Pocketed by Amrabat, mind you, and Mainu in the FA Cup final. Let's not forget that. So let's not jump the bandwagon too soon. We know that he's not going to be Rodri. We know that Sander Berge is not Rodri. We know he's not going to be even as good as Thomas Partey. Would you say that? Time will tell. We have to wait and see, of course. We cannot judge anyone yet. It's a long season, and there's a lot to prove at the end of the day. Manchester United, Ineos, Eric Ten Hag would have done their research. I'm hoping they would have done their research in regards to this player. I'm hoping that he's been on their radar for a while, and he's not a panic buy. I mean, I'm not saying he's a panic buy. I wouldn't say that at the end of the day, because there is still 7 days to the start of the season. Anything can happen in regards to that. So at the end of the day, I feel like Manchester United would have done their research, and Manchester United would have looked into Sander Berge and looked into his character as well, and the way he plays, and probably were impressed with what they've seen. Let's not forget, though, Bath time, that he scored 13 goals in, let me see, it's 97 games, 13 goals for Sheffield United. That's not bad for a midfielder, if you're being honest. I know it probably wasn't the Championship, but it's still not bad, in my opinion. Good morning, Kamaru. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you here, my friend. Good to see you. Roy Keane was bought from a relegated team, and he is a legend. Yes. Roy Keane was bought from a relegated team, but it's also important to stress that Roy Keane was also, at the time, wanted by Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn Rovers back then were the Manchester City of now. So when Roy Keane signed for Manchester United, he was wanted by a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs wanted Roy Keane, and Blackburn Rovers are one of them. And Blackburn Rovers were the rich team back then, similar to Manchester City now. So this was the difference in regards to, and Roy Keane was young. Sander Berge is 27 in February. No one wants him. So it is a big difference. I'm not comparing the two. Roy Keane is an exceptional talent, and one that we cannot compare him to anyone, because he was unique at the end of the day. The guy could score goals, 10 a season he would score, you know. And the difference is that everything is multi-layered. Life is not always the same. You know, life is different with every single situation. You know, we cannot compare Roy Keane to Sander Berge. It's just a completely different hemisphere. Roy Keane was highly sought after when he signed for Manchester United. Highly. He was very well, highly rated. And you knew why. You knew why as well. I knew why. Everyone knew why he was highly rated. Everyone was talking about him at the time. He was a good player. Let's have a look at these. Haim, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the stream, first of all. You need at least 1 or 2 big name players because of sponsorship. Well, I don't like this commercial club thing. Of course, sponsorships are important. You need big players for promotion and all that. I just want a successful team on a football pitch. That's what I want at the end of the day. I want us to be successful on a football pitch, and I want us to be successful next season in challenging the powers that be in Manchester City, Arsenal, etc. I want us to do well next season, and that's the key at the end of the day. What would you think will be a successful season next season for Manchester United right now? If the season started now, what would you feel like be a successful season for Manchester United, in your opinion? Bath time. I think Berge is a better than Ugarte. Okay, in the UEFA Champions League, Ugarte lost 2 to 3 headers. You can't have that from a number 6 in our league. If you want to press, it's like not being able to return a serve in tennis. Very good point, Bathtown. Your knowledge is way up there, my friend. It is a good point. At the end of the day, the Premier League, you're going to have to win headers. You're going to have to be physical as well. If Sanderberg is that guy, maybe they're looking at that type of guy. Maybe they're looking at someone who's physical, who can break up the play, who can win headers, who can tackle, going for a tackle in hard tackles, etc. That's a good point, that is. At the end of the day, you have to look at it. As I said, it's multi-layered. You have to look at it from every single point of view. He may come in, he may be a star, he may be an absolute baller, he may be an absolute must in our team. We like when Casemiro came into our team, honest to God, when he first came into the team, he was brilliant, wasn't he? He was absolutely brilliant, and we knew Casemiro would be brilliant anyway, but we missed him when he wasn't there. Hopefully we have the same sort of feeling towards Sanderberg. He has more legs than Casemiro, of course, as well. He can run about the pitch, get himself about the pitch as well. So in the Premier League, it's a different animal at the end of the day. It's not like France. You're going to have to win duels, you're going to have to win headers, it's going to be physical, and it's every single team, not just 1 or 2 teams. You're going to have to be at it every single game. And the Premier League is not easy, of course. You could play Southampton 1 minute and you can play Man City the next minute. You're going to have exactly the same battle. It's mad. Garrett, good morning, my friend. How you doing? Let me just read your comment. Good morning, Sal. Watching fly from Cape Town, South Africa. Big up Cape Town, massive. I am planning to go to Cape Town very soon. Very, very beautiful part of the world. Good to see you here, Garrett. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you for asking. Yesterday, my throat was an absolute myth. I needed a throat transplant or something because I couldn't talk. I'm still a bit groggy today, but I'm getting there, my friend. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Even Toney possible? Yes. Now I'm going to go into even Toney now. Rasmus' injury seems to be a little bit more serious than we first thought. Unfortunately, Manchester United are desperate to sign a striker because of Rasmus Højlund's injury. Even Toney is on the radar, but the problem with Even Toney is £85 million, right? To 75 to 85 million pounds is very steep. Now, my main question would be, if we cannot afford Ugarte, we cannot afford De Ligt and Mazraoui, why are we going after Toney for 85 million pounds? Well, Ineos have a secret stash of money hidden. Not hidden, but they have a secret stash of money in their credit that they could spend. Now, what they choose to spend this money on is up to them, what they want to do with that money. They didn't want to spend the money for Ugarte. They don't believe he's worth the money that PSG were asking for. Now, is even Toney a priority? Well, goals in the team is always a priority for me. I always believe that goals is the most important part of football. Of course it is. And we do need players who can score goals. Now, in regards to even Toney, I rate him highly, of course. He's a brilliant player, can hold up the ball, is a presence, has a personality as well. He scores a lot of goals, and that would be a great signing for Manchester United, but he will set us back 75, 80 million, 85 million. He is worth 100 in the market, 100 million in the market he's worth, but we could get him for 75, 85 million. He's openly said that he wants to come to Manchester United. He's a Manchester United fan, of course. So at the end of the day, he would mark a brilliant signing for Manchester United. But would we get him over the line? Could we get him? This is the problem with it now. This is a Premier League player. British, there's the old British tax, isn't it? You know, this is the problem with British players and Premier League players. You do add 20 odd million on top of the price tag in regards to these players. Would you go after even Toney? I mean, I wouldn't say no, but I do feel that we have priority positions in the pitch that are more important right now in regards to going forward, in regards to our defence, in regards to our fullbacks, in regards to our central midfield. We do need that. But then you look at last season and you think, hold on a second, we didn't score any goals, so shouldn't that be a priority? We've got Xerxes in there, of course, Xerxes is there, but can we rely on Xerxes to score us those goals? Xerxes is more of a creative player. I say he's more of the Firmino sort of player, if you know what I mean, in regards to creation and the one that ties the strings together sort of player. So I would be happy with a signing like even Toney. We need a player like that at the end of the day. But will we get him for that amount of money? His name keeps copying up. It keeps propping up. His name keeps coming out of the media. There must be some substance to this story, because at the end of the day, his name keeps coming up, and there's no smoke without fire, as they say. Not comparing Keane, bro. No, of course, Randy. I'm not saying that you're comparing Roy Keane, bro. I'm just saying that Roy Keane, before he came to Manchester United, was wanted by other clubs. Sander Berge's not wanted by anyone. Not to say that Sander Berge's a bad player. It's just that Roy Keane was just one of the up and coming best young players in Europe at the time, I believe. Definitely in the Premier League, or Division One back then. Well, Premier League, yeah. Let's have a look at these comments. Bath time, 75 goals, 75 plus points is a successful season. If we get 75 points, would you be happy with that? Depending what that will get us in the season, depending how the league goes, where that will make us finish. That will probably be top 4, in my opinion. Probably be about top 4. And a trophy would be nice as well. If we could win a trophy, I would like the Europa League. I would like us to win the Europa League. I would like us to win the FA Cup or League Cup. If we can do that, and then obviously that will buy us time, because a lot of our players, of course, are on their final year of their contract. So many of those players will be gone next year. This year it's going to be a little bit difficult because they don't want to leave. Of course, there's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who wants a 7 million payoff because he's in the final year of his contract, and for him to leave, he wants that payoff, which is mercenary. Of course, it's not the kind of mentality that you want. I mean, you're supposed to love the club at the end of the day. Randy Dancer says we come 5th. I think we're going to come higher than that, my friend. I do believe that. Good morning, Alex, my friend. It's good to see you here, my friend. Hey, Sal and chat, Community Shield. Tomorrow I'm buzzed. Yes, and I will be here from 2 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Central European time, and 5 p.m. Middle Eastern time. I'll be here calling the game. I'll be here for a good 3 hours at least, talking about the game, talking about the transfers, hopefully, and talking about the team that we select. It's going to be interesting, the team that we select tomorrow. Would you pick youngsters? Now, this is what I'm going to go on to next in regards to the young players. Do you feel that some of these young players are good enough? Do you feel that they're good enough to come through? If you do, who do you think is good enough to come through? Now, I'm a big fan of Harry Amas. Of course, I think he's ready. I do believe he's ready. I think that he can cover Luke Shaw. But what do you think of Luke Shaw's injury? Now, Luke Shaw has missed a lot of football over the last, 10 years? He's missed about 60% of games at Manchester United. So it's becoming a little bit like, I like the player, I rate the player, I think he's a very good player, one of the best left backs in Europe when he's fit. But these injuries, they're just getting a little bit too much now, aren't they? We have to be real here. We have to be realistic in regards to Luke Shaw. These injuries are getting a little bit too much in my opinion. I feel like we can't keep carrying players now. We can't keep carrying these players. We can't keep being a care home for players in regard, so to speak. You know, at the end of the day, we need players to play on the pitch. We need players who are fit, and Luke Shaw's never fit, and this is becoming a bit of a joke now. Now, my opinion would be, if Luke Shaw's not fit, I would just put Harry Amas in the team myself. Malacia is a problem as well. Rehabilitation, all this business. I would put Harry Amas in the team myself, in my humble opinion. I would put Hamas in the team, and not Hamas, goodness me, Amas in the team. I would put Amas in the team, of course, and I would start putting him on the left back position, of course, and see how he does. I mean, how do you know how good he's going to be if you don't give him a chance? Bath time. If we have 85 million in some secret fund, it's not more likely we'll spend that on Brownthwaite. It depends, because it depends what they want to spend it on. Up to Ineos, isn't it? If they want to spend it on them, they could have spent it on Ugarte. They didn't, and they have a secret credit there that they can use. I spoke to Swedish Rumble. He's very good on the finance side of things. A couple of days ago, he was saying that they do have a credit that they could use if they see fit to use it. Now, what they use it on is very, very important, of course. They don't want to waste the money, of course. They're not. I don't think they will waste the money. But Branthwaite would have been a good one. But Branthwaite is not worth 70 million. He's not. He's not proven at the top level. He's played at PSV and he's played at Everton, but he's not proven in regards to elite level football. And also we have Licha Martinez. Will Ineos not be looking for a first team player rather than a substitute? This is what they have to look at as well. I think we need a Branthwaite. I think we need both, of course. We need strikers, we need defenders. We need as much as we can possibly get. But at the end of the day, we need to look at what we need immediately in our first team. And in our first team, we do need a striker. We do need midfielders. We do need another right-sided centre-back. We do. And at the end of the day, we haven't got those through the door yet. So maybe that fund is there. Maybe they're waiting to see what will happen in regards to the transfer window. We have to wait and see in regards to that. They're going to wait and see. We've got a week to go. Anything can happen. Big things can happen. And then whatever we need, we can delve into that transfer fund, that transfer kitty, and we can buy someone as a surprise. I said there will be a surprise signing. I believe there will be a surprise signing, whether that is Branthwaite, whether that is even Toney, whether that is Zubimendi. It will be a surprise signing at Manchester United. I believe there will be. And I believe we should get that done within the next week or so, hopefully. If not, it's going to drag into the season again, isn't it? Craig the Unicorn, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you here again. Good to see you. There is no priority to sign Toney. We need help in the midfield. Yeah, I agree. And the back line. We have plenty of attacking options. It's a silly move. Yeah, I mean, it depends how serious the Rasmus injury is. We hope that Rasmus will be back very soon. We hope so. The injury is a little bit more serious than we first thought. Will Toney be just a shirt seller? Would he be? But I'm not too sure. He's a fantastic goal scorer, a brilliant goal scorer, can score goals. We've missed goals in our team, let's be honest. We have missed goals in our team. We don't have any goals in our team. But at the same time, you're absolutely spot on. We do need midfielders as well. But at the end of the day, Man United need a lot of positions. It's the priority is the midfield, of course, because the midfield is the engine of the team. And if we don't have a midfield, we don't have a forward line. If we don't have a defence, we don't have a midfield. We need to sort out the back first, then the midfield, and then we can go on from there. The striker is like the icing on the cake, for example. The cherry on the icing on the cake is the striker that we can get at the end. You know, in regards, if they sign Toney, I will back the move. Is it a priority? No, it's not a priority. It's not top of the list. Everything is a priority, but it's not top of the list of the priority, if you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, we have to wait and see what happens in regards to transfers. If Man United bring in a Berge, if Man United bring that and they get a cheap deal for Berge, rumours is we could get a discount deal in regards to Berge, then bringing Toney in is a no-brainer at the end of the day. I mean, it would be mark a very, very good signing, and Manchester United could move on in regards to goals, because last season we had minus goal difference, let's not forget. To be fair, Toney, we only scored 58 goals in the league last year. That has to improve. Yes, exactly, bath time. And this is a problem, is our goal scoring. If you're looking to look at last season and you're going to look at the biggest issue last season, it was goals at the end of the day. And we haven't had goals last season, and we were minus goal difference, which is ridiculous for Manchester United. Man United should score double 58 goals, not 58. We should be aiming at 100 plus, not 58 goals. It was a disaster in regards to goal scoring last season. So are Ineos looking at Toney in regards to goals? Of course they are. And maybe they've looked at last season and said our main issue is goals. But if you look at it from a bigger perspective, our main issue is Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. A little bit of trouble with the internet, Tesco internet, as you said. Morning, Chow. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Not quite in trouble yet. We're not in trouble yet. It's not that bad yet. We have to wait 7 days until everything, and we see what happens after that. Bath time. Let me just get back on these thing. My internet down, or his lads. Mine is. I had to put on my data because the internet is gone crazy. Using too many devices at one time can be a problem, of course, which is why my internet crashed a little bit. I personally think it's telling that the clubs across Europe are in dire need of a bagsman, and none want Toney. Yes, well, that is true. That is true. Yes. Alex, allow me, mate. Restart the stream. Allow me. No, I'm not going to restart the stream. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Someone turned on the television and my internet went completely off because there's too much powers going on, unfortunately. So I had to restart. Can you hear me? Am I here? Am I loud and clear? Guys, tell me if you can if you can hear me, if you can see me, then that's absolutely great. But yeah, in regards to Toney, I think he's a class striker myself. I think he's a really, really good striker. I think if we sign him, I'll be happy. But is it a priority? This is obviously going to be the issue going forward, isn't it? Is he going to be a priority? Ineos do have the credit in the bank. They do, that they're not using at the moment. But when they do use it, I hope that they use it wisely and they don't make a mistake in regards to spending that money on a player that we don't need. I mean, everyone needs strikers. Everyone needs goals at the end of the day, guys. So let's wait and see. Guys, can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me know in the chat if I'm still here with you guys. That'd be absolutely perfect if I'm still here. Yeah, the time is still going up, so I guess I'm still here. I guess if you guys can let me know and tell me if that would be absolutely great if the internet is down or is up. But at the end, I think you are here. I believe you are here, you guys. I believe you are here in regards to that. Now, my way out. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Now, in regards to De Ligt and Mazraoui, the deal is still not dead. It's not dead in the water completely. But Manchester United need to get a move on as Bayern Munich want to sell the players quickly. Manchester United could delve into their credit and get a De Ligt and Mazraoui straight cash at the end of the day. And you never know what can happen within the next week or so. It is believed that Aaron Wan-Bissaka deal could still go through. He could still leave the club, which will open up the door for Mazraoui, and it'll open up the door for De Ligt to still come through the door. The deal is not dead in the water yet. So let's not completely criticize Ineos completely yet. There's still a little bit of time for them to do the deals, of course. How come we aren't in trouble? The whole back line injured. Mate, listen, if I told you how I feel right now, people will call me negative. At the end of the day, I'm just here to say we're in a bit of problems if we start the season now. That's what I would say, Chow. I would say that. At the end of the day, if we started the season now, I feel like we're in a little bit of problems. Well, big problems, to be honest with you. Because I don't want to see us with Maguire and Lindelof next season. Because I don't think it's going to work, in all honesty. I really don't think it's going to work. We need defenders in there. We need De Ligt in there. We need Mazraoui in there. You know, we need defenders. And at the end of the day, Maguire, Evans, fair play to them, but they're just not going to get us to where we want to go, the promised land, so to speak. I don't think they're going to get us to where we want to go. Oh, you sound weak communicating with R2D2. Our biggest problem is centre backs and left back. Yeah, I agree. And left sided centre back, my friend. If we get an injury to Licha Martinez, for example, we're in a big problem, ain't we? We're in big problems if we get an injury to Licha Martinez. That's going to be a big issue as well. If we don't have cover for Licha Martinez, we're in a big pickle. That's why we were after Braithwaite for so long. We were trying to sign him, but obviously we've been priced out of a deal for him. Braithwaite does want to come to Manchester United. He's openly said he wants to come to Manchester United. Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Braithwaite, but as we know, just because you agree personal terms doesn't mean you're going to sign for the club, because you need to do a deal with the club first, and Everton have priced him out. Manchester United have offered in a region of 60 to 65 million euros in regards to Braithwaite. Everton wants 70 million pounds. It's a lot of money for a Braithwaite. That is a lot of money. I feel that Braithwaite's worth 50, 55. I think he's worth around that money. I don't know what you think. I think he's worth around that money. I think he's a very, very good player. Still a little bit raw, but I think he's a very good player. Will Manchester United take the risk on him? If they take the risk on him, we're going to have to support it. But at the moment, it doesn't look like they're going to take any risks on any more players. It seems like, Alex, it's cheaper for us to let players leave on a free rather than selling them. Not that they want to hop off the gravy train. They don't want to hop off the gravy train, mate. They want to sit down and earn a big packet at Manchester United. And it's not only the money, it's about the social media following. It's about everything that surrounds Manchester United. The attention you get, the boot deals, the sponsorship deals, all these kind of things that they will be leaving behind if they leave Manchester United. Because if you sign for West Ham or you sign for Fulham, it's not quite the same, is it, than playing for Manchester United. Now, you can look at them and say, well, why would they take a pay cut? Why would they harm their career in regards to leaving Manchester United? It's not, I don't blame them in some quarters. I don't blame them. I don't. At the end of the day, it's up to them. Manchester United gave the contract, and they don't want to leave the contract. And as you said, Alex, the only way to do it is pay them off. The problem is we have to pay off their contracts, and their contracts are expensive. And Man United can't even afford to buy a cheap player from midfield, Ugarte, then let alone paying off 10, 15 contracts that we need to pay off. I mean, Maguire, what's he on? 190 grand a week. Then you got like Lindelof is on over 100 grand a week, and then you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka is on over 100 grand a week. And these players, if you times it comes to a lot of money. This is why I was an advocate for full sale. This is why I wanted a full sale at Manchester United, because if we had a full sale and we cleared the debt, we could have paid off those contracts as well, which was promised to us. Of course, all the players that need to leave, their contracts need to expire. Now, Scott McTominay, it's gone quiet in regards to Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay has gone in hiding again, as he does every time it's a transfer window, and he doesn't leave the club. Scott McTominay is key to a lot of things in regards to Manchester United signing more players, because the full money of Scott McTominay will go straight towards our transfers at the end of the day. And he will go for around 30 million, of course, and that 30 million will go straight towards whoever we're going to buy, which will be obviously a midfielder, a defender, or a striker. Whatever it is, that money will go towards that. Scott McTominay is very reluctant to leave. He's not one of the highest earners at the club, but he will get a payoff of around, I believe in his contract, he deserves a payoff, which he's waiting for if he waits a little bit longer. Now, this is another mercenary move from Scott McTominay. People say he's not a mercenary, he only earns a certain money. But there are certain implications in his contract that if he stays a certain amount of time, he gets a big, huge payoff, of course. We're one injury away from a massive disaster. Randy, exactly, we are. And we know that from last season. We experienced it last season when we had injuries, the disaster, what happened, losing 4-0 to Crystal Palace, for example, teams like that. We don't have the squad. I would much prefer us trusting the youngsters than trusting some of these so-called senior players or playing players out of position. We played players out of position last season, and that really harmed us in regards to that. Bath time. I think it would be a travesty if Scott went ahead of Eriksen or Casemiro. Huge season last season, scored the quarter semis and the FA Cup. But I agree with you, Bath time, in a sense. But if we're thinking about controlling games, if we're thinking about dominating games, we cannot have a Scott McTominay. We cannot keep playing survival football. Now, Scott McTominay's been there for 7 years, and we haven't really done anything, have we? In the midfield, and he's been a mainstay in the midfield, right? At the end of the day, Scott McTominay, if you're going to keep him on the bench, great, but we do need better in the midfield at the end of the day. And by selling McTominay, we get a good bunch of money in that can reinvest in our defence, in our midfield. Playing survival football doesn't work. I'd rather control a game, dominate games, and win the game out front than scoring last-minute goals. These last-minute goals are, the way we're playing is it's just not going to survive next season. We need to think about the bigger picture, in my opinion. It's just the bigger picture we need to think about. If we're going to challenge, if we want to improve, we cannot keep doing the same mistakes that we've been doing for the last 10 years. At the end of the day, McTominay is one of those mainstays. He represents what we have been the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. He represents everything what we are. Not only him. Some of these players, like obviously Casemiro, obviously Eriksen, do represent that as well. And these players need to go as well. There's many players that do, but I would keep Casemiro. And the reason I would keep Casemiro is because he's more experienced. He's more of a leader than Scott McTominay is, because he's won Champions League. He's won 5 Champions Leagues, that guy. He knows what he's doing. It's just that we don't play the system that complements these type of players. McTominay, I just don't think he's that guy. I don't, and I never felt that way. I just don't think. I come from an age of Brian Robson and Roy Keane, these type of players. I just feel like he's not going to bring us forward. The best we played over the last few years is when Casemiro was playing in the first season at Man United. We were absolutely immense. We were. No, we good with Euro. Let Brownface stay to help keep Everton from the relegation. Yeah, exactly. Things will happen in the end, bro. Just be cool, United family. United fan, big up King. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining me. Love the positivity. That's what it's all about. We're still believing. There's still a week left of this transfer window as well. Let's not forget. Good morning, Mishek. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing brilliantly today. Let me have a look. Alex, with the money hold at the club, they are bound to be relegated. McTominay literally finished the season as vice captain at Anfield, the way he was captain. You don't think I don't think he's a leader. I don't. I think he's a passion merchant. And at the end of the day, if you want to progress and you want to challenge the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal, you cannot have a Scott McTominay in your side. You can't. And I'm not saying that it's just Scott McTominay. You cannot have an Eriksen either. You can't have them either. We need a complete revamp of that midfield, completely. If we got the money, it'd be great to keep Scott McTominay on the bench, but he's a very, very important asset in regards to money. If we sold him, our money would go towards the defence, the money would go towards the midfield. I don't think he's good enough. No one wants him. No one wants him. If he was good enough, people are queuing up for his signature, but no one wants him. And I just don't think he's good enough. He's not been good enough for 10, 15 years. I've been supporting United 4 decades, my friend, and he's been one of the most average players I can ever remember. Yeah, players score goals. Kevin Phillips was once the highest scorer in the Premier League history at one time. It doesn't mean that they're good enough for Man United. At the end of the day, we were playing survival football, which suits McTominay. Survival football suits McTominay. We are not a survival team. We shouldn't be a survival team. We should be a team that plays on the front foot. We should be a team that dominates the game. And that's what we should aim for. If we're going to aim for that, we cannot have players like Scott McTominay. But that's my opinion, Bath Time. I appreciate your opinion. But that's just my opinion and what I've seen for the last 10 years. Amrabat and Edison is high on my wish list. Yeah, Edison, of course, Atalanta. High on my wish list as well. Let me just grab a little drink. Still got the throat problem, of course, still a little bit groggy at the end of the day. Amrabat and Edison is high on my wish list. High on my wish list as well. Amrabat, we can get him back on loan. I believe we'll get him on another loan. Edison would be a magnificent signing, and that's the type of midfielder I want. If you look at Edison for Atalanta, he's absolutely incredible. He's £38 million, 45 million euros. Why don't we do that deal? Why don't we go after that deal? I don't know why we're not doing that deal. It's fine. I can deal with someone having different opinions to mine. Yeah, we all can deal with opinions, but at the end of the day, mate, Bath Time, we are on the same boat, ain't we? We want to be successful, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Garrett, these players are no love for the club. They must go. They don't have love for the club. A lot of them have love for their pockets, unfortunately. They're happy with the contract. They're happy with the social media following and everything that goes on top of being a Manchester United player, of course. We will finish 10th this season. Oh, Collins, you've really, really given it now. You've really done it now, haven't you? 10th. Come on, guy. We're going to come higher than 10th. We're going to become top 4 next season. Just believe it. We're going to challenge next season. I'm going to die on this. I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm not a flip-flop. I said weeks ago that we would challenge and we would do well next season and we will shock the world next season. I'm going to stick by that until it's completely dead in the water. I will stick by that myself. Bath Time, my friend. I suspect Edison is someone not on the list because not Atalanta team, not even around the ball, and Ten Hag organises the team around spaces, positional football. Bath Time, at the end of the day, Players can adjust to certain formations, etc. Edison is a fighter, he's a battler, he carried Atalanta. Atalanta's obviously a different team to Manchester United, different ambitions to Manchester United, but they won the Conference League last season. So they're not too bad in regards to that. So I like Edison, and I feel like he would be better than Eriksen, for example, if you know what I mean, in our midfield, you know. Agree top four. Yeah, Garrett, agree top four. McTominay was schooled as a striker and not a midfielder. Yeah, exactly. McTominay is not a midfielder. He is a forward. He was brought up as a forward. He plays like a forward. And if you're going to keep him on the bench, is it going to be financially viable for us to do that? If we can get money from him and reinvest it in the team. What do you think about that, Randy? Alex, a lot of doomers in the chat. Europa League title, Community Shield, and a domestic league. Let's go, my friend. Domestic trophy. Let's go. That's what we're talking about, my friend. Thank you, Tony. How you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining me. Much love to you. Always, always. Bath time. When Toney played 4 or 5 games of the academy during an injury crisis before he was growth spurt, he was the number 10. Yeah, he was a number 10, and he plays like a number 10 in my opinion. He does. He does play a number 10. My opinion would be, though, Bath time, I think he's better as the false number 9 kind of player. Do you remember, was it the FA Cup final where he played like the false number 9 kind of thing? I believe he's good up there. He can cause a problem. He can. Not as a midfielder, though. A striker at the 4 games, he said in the performance in the podcast, yeah, he is a forward player. He is. And that's what we have to remember. We will use him as a backup striker. We got a lot of backup strikers at the moment. There's talk about Jadon Sancho becoming a backup striker as well, wasn't there? There was talk of him becoming a backup striker. We got so many backup strikers. You know, we just need a normal striker, don't we? That'd be nice. Let me just get some more drink. My apologies. Cough is coming, of course. Technically, the recent injured defenders, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw are the Solskjaer back 4 players, all need to be gone. And this is a very good point by Curran, because at the end of the day, we got Shaw was back in that Louis van Gaal days. 2014, bruv. Come on, at the end of the day, these players have been there, been at the club too long, underachieving at the club as well. They're not achieving things. They've been there too long, not achieving anything. At the end of the day, and we need players now who are going to move us forward, who are going to challenge, who are going to beat the powers that be, the elites up front at the top of the league. We need to go after them. We need to challenge for them. That should be our aspiration. At the end of the day, is to challenge for the top of the Premier League. These players have been there a long time, as you said. Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw have been there a very, very long time. McTominay as well has been there 7 years now. So we need players with a better mentality in regards to used to winning things. For example, not just losing, you know, because a lot of the players that we have now have been losing for a long time now, haven't they? They've been losing for a very long time. And that obviously that has an effect on the player mentality, doesn't it? Let me just have a grab. In my humble opinion, definitely. But yeah, good point, Kerwin. But at the end of the day, as I said, I'm going to remain positive. I'm always remaining positive in regards to Manchester United. I'm going to see what happens next season, see how we start the league. Obviously, we've got Fulham in a week's time from today. It's a week. And I feel like we will win that game. I believe we win that game. If we don't win that game, it's already a disaster, isn't it? But we do have to be patient. I know the fan base will react. They'll react in a bad way if we don't win that game, and that's understandable. We should beat Fulham. I don't think they have Paulinho anymore, do they? I don't believe they have Paulinho anymore in their team, do they? Someone in the chat. Let me just type that down, actually, because I think Paulinho left, didn't he? Let me have a look. Paulinho. Fulham. No, he's still a Fulham player. João Paulinho is still a Fulham player. Yeah, he's a good player, he is. I mean, I'm surprised everything's gone quiet in regards to him. No, he's at Bayern Munich now. He's at Bayern Munich. So he's not playing for them anymore, which is good news for Man United. Who have Fulham signed? They haven't really signed anyone, have they? So Manchester United really should be taking that game by the scruff of their neck and winning that game, in my opinion. I feel like they will win the game quite comfortably. I don't know about you. I just feel like they will win the game comfortably. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm just biased. But I do believe that. And I believe next season will be a very exciting season for Manchester United. I firmly believe that. I think something could happen. I just got this feeling about it. Hopefully we will bring in some signings by next Friday. Hopefully a lot could happen A lot can happen in 24 hours. A lot can happen today. It's Friday. A lot could happen. There could be a here we go today. You never know. There could be. One is imminent. We're due one. It could be happening very soon, of course. So we have to remain patient, and we have to believe that things are going to evolve and things are going to develop, of course. And it's easy to be obviously downhearted. It's easy to be negative, and that is true. We don't want Maguire. We don't want Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka in our team next season. We don't. By the end of the day, there's still a week to go. Just keep the belief. If we start the season with Evans, Maguire, and Lindelof, then I'm going to say, look, guys, you're right. This is going to be a worrying season next season. This is going to be a bit of this is going to be hard next season, because you cannot treat an old dog new tricks. You cannot change the spots on the leopard. The famous quote goes, of course, you cannot teach a League Two player to play like a tiki-taka football, like prime Barcelona. You cannot teach these players things, at the end of the day. So, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure today. Thank you so much. I'm still a bit groggy, as you can tell. I'm still drinking my drink, making sure I don't cough. But you guys are absolute legends for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe and smash a like. I'm on my way to 4,000 subscribers. Just a measly 900 odd to go, subscribers to go to get to that number. But Ball Knowledge, guys, up here as usual. Absolutely brilliant show. Thank you so much for joining me. You've been absolutely immense today. Hopefully it's a big day today. Friday can be a very important day in regards to the football calendar. It is. A Friday can be a here we go day, so to speak. We've signed a few players on a Friday in the past. We've had a lot of history about signing players on a Friday. So hopefully Friday, thank God it's Friday, and thank God it is Friday. Let's hope. Excuse me, guys. And let's hope that it is a big day again for Manchester United. At last, should I say, at last, because it's been a while since we've had any good news come at the club, anything going on at the club. And it's about time we've got to move on in regards to players out and players in. We have to practice cautious optimism and practice cautious optimism all the time. Ineos have got a lot to prove. But of course, it is the impossible job when you're dealing with players who don't want to leave, and it is hard. So what do Ineos need to do? They need to try and get some money together and buy these players and get that credit that they have, that we all know that they've got, and take some money out of the credit and buy some players, because you've got to give Erik ten Hag the best opportunity possible to succeed next season. And that's my opinion in regards to that, because at the moment, we're not giving him the best chance to succeed. We're not. We signed 2 players, one of which is injured. It's not enough. We are weaker than we were at the start of last season. Last season, we had Rafael Varane, we had Rasmus Højlund fit. This season, we don't, right? And at the end of the day, do you feel we are weaker now than we have been last season? Do you feel that? Do you feel we're weaker now than we were back then? I think we are weaker, slightly weaker right now than we were last season, which is, goodness me, impossible to do when you think about it. How can we be weaker now than we were last season? And we shouldn't be weak, We should be ready for this season. We should be ready and excited for this season and enthusiastic about this season. Now, you will never bring me down. I still think we're going to win the first game of the season. I still think we're going to beat Manchester City. And don't forget, tomorrow I'll be live with you guys for the watch along for Man United against Manchester City in the Community Shield. Let's bring that Community Shield home. Let's bring it back to where it belongs. It's our Community Shield. Remember that. We're going to defeat Manchester City for the 2nd time in a row at Wembley Stadium. What a morale boost that will be. And you know what? We're going to do it with kids. That's what we're going to do it with. Harry Amas, with Colin Air, with Odene. We're going to do it with kids. And that is going to be the biggest slap in the face for Manchester City that you're ever going to see, because they don't have a youth system like us. With youth, courage, success is our motto, and we have to believe tomorrow that we're going to do it. I'll be live tomorrow from 2 p.m. For the watch along. I'll be early, so we'll be talking about the game, building up to the game, etc. But I will be live later on today as well for Chatterbox as well. So guys, hopefully something happens between now and later on. So that we could have something to cheer about, to be happy about, to be positive about. Let's hope so. Let me just check something for you guys real quick. I'm just going to get this up for you guys, if I can possibly, if I'm still live. Yeah, I'm live now. I'm Yeah, let me just see some of these comments. Some of these comments are not coming up, guys. Let me just refresh this page. At the end of the day, I'm just going to refresh this if I can quite. Because I'm not getting some of your comments up, but let me just see, because I'm not getting some of your comments. But let me read out some of these comments for you anyway. Let's see where we are. Atlanta. Come on, Manchester United signing him up. Yeah, we want Edison big time, bath time, a bit like Kobe. If a player can score goals, get them as near to the goal as possible. McTominay scores, so I'd have him as high up the pitch as possible. Good point, guys. Let me have Randy. Or use him as a water carrier. Do you remember Didier Deschamps and Eric Cantona called him the water carrier? Do you remember that? Hello, sir. Good. Hello, Guy. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're well. Let me just read all these out. Of course, I'm just reading all these comments out for you guys here. Dabishish, any centre-back news? Nothing at the moment. Hopefully we'll get something today. Any centre-back news, Dabishish? We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. Of course, so let's just wait and see what goes on with that. Of course, he went to Bayern. I read that earlier on. K George, how you doing? How many times do we have to see Man City going for players? Almost every top player wants nothing. Right? Yeah, exactly, guys. Exactly. Let me see if I could just reset this for you guys real quickly. I'm gonna reset this up for you. Why that on? Yeah, I'm back. All my comments went missing to be honest with you. So I cannot read the comments for some weird reason at all. So I'm back now. Let's see if I'm back now. Yeah, I'm back here. So let's see if I can get these comments up. I don't know why they're not coming out, to be honest with you, because I can't read them. But I'm reading them out here anyway. Ciao. They have Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob. Yeah, Oscar Bob is one. Definitely, he is one. Absolutely, definitely. How about 100 grand a week? Goodness me! For her, can you imagine we paid 100 grand a week for Berge? That'd be madness, wouldn't it? Absolute madness, you guys. I think that's all the comments I caught up with. You guys, thank you so much for commenting. Everything, the comments weren't showing up for some reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but they're not showing up, which is crazy. Technically, recent injuries, defenders, Maguire, Lindelof, Zaka, Shaw, all Solskjaer. Yeah. Thank you, guys. It's been a bit of a technical problem at the end of the show, but we got there in the end. Guys, all of you guys, ciao. Thank you so much for your comments, Randy. Thank you so much, Mawaya. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for joining me for the show. Absolutely brilliant show today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to smash a like as well on the video. That'd be absolutely brilliant if you guys can do that for me. I'm on my way to 4,000 subscribers. Please don't forget, I'll be back later on for Chatterbox. I'll be back. Hopefully, technically, everything will be good and all that. So, guys, big respect. Thank you so much. And I shall see you later. And obviously, there's the watch along tomorrow. Don't forget, there is the watch along tomorrow. Don't forget, we will be doing Manchester City, Man United watch along, which is going to be an absolute delight, of course, because we're going to bring home the trophy. We're going to bring home the shield tomorrow. So, guys, thank you ever so much for joining me. Don't forget to smash a like. Don't forget to subscribe. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you so much. Peace.